Hey, how are we? In this video, I want to talk to you about slope. And our learning targets are I can find slope graphically, and I can find slope using the slope formula. So let's get to it. What is slope? Slope is the rate of change from one point to the next. Slope is what tells you by how much the line is changing from one point to the next point. So for example, let's let's call this point A over here, and we're going to call this point B. The slope is what tells you the change from one point to the next. And slope is always measured as the vertical change over horizontal change. So if you want to find the slope from one point to the next, you have to measure the vertical change and the horizontal change. And you always take the slope starting with the left point and then moving to the right point, to the point on the right. So you always take the slope from left to right. So what's the vertical change? That means by how much is it changing, upwards or downwards? So it's going up from left to right, and it's going up 1, 2, 3, 4. So the vertical change is 4. What's the horizontal change? Well, so it goes up 4, that's the vertical change, horizontal, so you count from here, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the horizontal change is 5. What you want to do next is reduce this if it's possible. In this case, it's not possible. It's already reduced. So our slope is 4 over 5. All right, so slope is the rate of change from one point to the next. And it's taken as the vertical change over the horizontal change. And the slope will always be the same throughout this whole line. If you were to extend this line all the way to positive infinity, it would have the same slope. Okay, now let's look at a couple of lines with negative slope. So these lines, they all have negative slope because the vertical change is going downwards. So see how this line is going down and then over? That means it's going to have a negative slope. Same thing with this line. See how it's going down and over? This one here, down and over. So when it goes down and over, that means it's going to have a negative slope. Now look, you always want to read it from left to right. Read from left to right. Because if you don't do that, you're going to mess up the sign of the slope. So it's important for you to read from left to right. Let's take a look at some lines with positive slope. These lines have positive slope because from left to right, it's going up. See that? Up, up. So you could tell whether it's going to have a positive slope or a negative slope just by looking at it. So you read from left to right. So it's going down, that means negative slope. If it's going up, that means positive slope. Again, you read from left to right. And I already showed you how to find the slope graphically. Let's look at how you could find the slope using the formula. So here it says, find the slope of the line that passes through the points -5, -2, and 7, 8. So this is our slope formula. M is used to denote slope. So lowercase m is used to denote slope. If we're going to use our formula here to find the slope, we're going to label this x1. We're going to label this y1. This is going to be x2, and this is going to be y2. This is x2. And this is y1. I know it looks like an x. Let me fix that. Okay, there we go. Now we're just going to plug it in. So it says y2 minus y1. So it's going to be 8 minus -2 over, that's an 8. over x2 minus x1. So over 7 subtract negative 5. So let's perform our calculations. 8 minus negative 2 is 10. 7 minus negative 5 is 12. Now, it's always important that you reduce the fraction when you take slope. You want to reduce the fraction. If you don't know, if you're having trouble with reducing, I can show you a nice little trick on a calculator. Let me just do that right now real quick. Okay, so let's take out the calculator. And here's what you do to reduce it. You're going to input the fraction. So you're going to write 10 divided by 12. And then you're going to press math. You're going to click on fraction. You're going to hit enter, and it'll reduce it for you. It reduces to 5, 6. So the slope of the line that passes through these points is 5, 6. You know, you can also graph it, and you know, you can just plot the points and measure the vertical change and the horizontal change and see that for yourself. All right, so I hope this video helped in regards to finding the slope graphically and using the slope formula. Take care.